and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I'm going to fill some gaps. So I have got to the end of page 1, but I do have a few gaps. However, a lovely subscriber has just sent me some diamonds, so I'm going to see how many gaps we can fill up. So what I thought I'd do is I'm going to be a bit more systematic with this now, because I do believe, though I may be wrong, I do believe I have pretty much all the colours to fill up the gaps. So I'm going to work row by row so that I don't make any mistakes. So I've just had a quick look on my chart, and the first ones that I need are the third row down. So I'm going to line up across this third row with my ruler, so I know then that I'm sort of on the right track for filling up any of these little white spots. I'm going to use my new pen from said subscriber, which is beautiful. I'm just trying to find where I put my wax. I've dumped my wax somewhere. Did I dump it in this pot? Sorry, I've got a little pen sort of holder. I've got a pegboard from IKEA on my back wall, and I'm not sure which little pot I put my little bit of wax in. Or did I put it on here? I've got little trays and all sorts, and I'm not finding my wax. So let me just grab, I'm just going to grab another one. I've got a little pot over the side of my craft room that just sort of houses wax and stuff. So I've got my new pen filled, so let's start filling up some of these gaps. So I'm going to zoom in first. We've got a couple, we've got about 4 in this sort of area, if you have a look at my chart compared to the little gaps. So we've got a Y, is that it? Y with a little flick. So this is 9:30. I'm going to try with just popping my pen into the pot in the way I'm doing this one. So the first one across this side is that 9:30, and then there's one more, and that is the next one in. So that's those 2 filled. So will it just let me highlight them separately maybe? Let's see if we can do it that way. And then we've got this next symbol that I didn't have, that's number 893. So again, I'm going to see if I can just get a, oh, I've got 2 out there, so let me just get, excuse my arm, just going to get a little tray. They're sort of pinched together, so I'm just going to see if I can get them unstuck. Is it going to do it, or are they stuck? This is because I'm on camera, they don't want to come apart. We're going to have to get, okay, let's do it this way. So for 893, I'm just going to tip a few out, and then I'm just going to keep it close. So if I put the top back on it, I'm going to keep them nearby because I know there's a few more. So for 893 is these other 2 gaps. So we've got one down here and one up there. So that is that little section done. And then if I go across, I'm just moving it across so that I'm still on this row, this third row, and then I've found my next little cluster. So I can see 3 little white spots. So I now know what I need for those, and of course they're all different ones. So we've got 3 806. If I do end up needing to tip some in trays, I will, and that's this topmost one. So we're going to mark that one as done. And then we've got a flower, which is 3350, and that is this bottommost one. Now I've noticed there is some close by further down here, but I'm not messing about with those at the moment. I'm going to stick along one line and work my way down. And then we've got a letter D, which is 349, which is a bright red, and that goes in this one. So that is that row now completely done. I'm going to keep all these out just for now. So now I'm going to zoom back out again, and I'm going to go back down to this bottom section, and we're going to start again going all the way across the row, and then I know where I'm up to, and hopefully there won't be any mistakes made. So I've got a cluster of 4 quite close together. Now this sort of divide symbol, it's a divide symbol on its side, is 2 of them. So let's do those 2 first. We've got one up there and then one down here in that little section of 4. So we'll highlight those 2. And then we've got the Y, which is the bottom one. Can I get hold of it? I have to tip some of these in a little tray as well. So I'm just popping that to the side, and I'm going to keep that with it. Maybe not in it. Okay, so for the Y, it's the bottom one of the 2. Highlight that one, and then we've got the starburst in the top one. So that's, oh, this is where it doesn't want to allow me to highlight. So there we go, that's that little cluster done. I'm just going to pull up my chair. I was stood up before, so I'm going to pull up my chair. I'm just going to have a little drink of my coffee, and we'll scroll across. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Yep, so we do only have 3 more now. So I'm just going to check across my row. I've got 1, 2, 3, and yes, they are quite scattered, which is what's showing on the chart. 2 of them are this divide symbol on its side, so I'm going to pop those 2 in and highlight those. And then I have this flower, which is 3350, and that's this one over here on its own. Highlight. So that is the next row done. So I'm just going to uncurl this and pop it on my lap. Should be a little bit flatter to work on. And then we'll go down to row 5. I can already see there's 3 here, and then there's 1 here, so there's a total of 4 across this row. So what I'm going to do is zoom back out. Oh, I did fill that one in. Zoom back out and zoom back in. On row 5, check in, there is 4. So I'm going to try and keep it so I can see all 4, just because in the grand scheme of things now, I'm not so much bothered which square it's in. I'm just checking which orientation it is in compared to the gaps I can see. So again, I've got 2 of these divide symbols on its side. So I've got 1 in the upmost. There's quite a few of these that are stuck together. Might have to mess about with them later. And then 1 down here in sort of the row of 3 that we're missing. So I'll highlight those 2 if it'll let me. Then this one is a triangle, which is this one, 918. See if this one will just let me stick my pen in the pot. Maybe, maybe not. And I got 2. and then I lost them both. There we go. So fill in that little gap is 918. So put the tops on loosely. I don't want them to fall off, but I want to know which one's which. And then 3350 again, which is this pinky colour, of which I ended up with 2. So I've just kicked one onto the side. There we go. So that now is another row done. So we'll go down to the 6th row, and we've got quite a few. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gaps by the looks of it on this row. So go down, can we see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's right. So I'm going to zoom in and sort of start from this side, and we've got this 3350 again. It's because I put that one back in the pot that came out. If I hadn't have done that, it wouldn't have been this one. So that's the first one up the top. In fact, I'm going to get another tray out for this one because I'm sure there's a few of these, and it might be a little bit quicker for me to just dip my pen in the pot. So that was the first one, and then, or was it? I'm sort of showing 2 together here. So that's the first square. Okay, so this is definitely this one on this bottom corner for definite, because I can see the lines of the square. So that is definitely that one. And then I've got 2 up here. One is the one that I've just put one in, and then this one is that, and then I've got a gap. So this, I actually think, is one that's either fell out or one that I've missed. And it's actually this symbol, 3721. So I'm going to pop this one in here for some reason. Just check, yeah, I've definitely gone all the way across. So for some reason I've either missed a symbol or it's fell out, because that's one that I already had. So we'll go back now, and that is another one of these. So we'll highlight those 2. And then if we scroll across, we now should have a series of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, I do. So one of them is this, so let's do this while it's already out, and that's the one near the bottom. And then I have 2, which is this triangle. And I ended up getting 2 out, so that is this one here, and that one there. That's those 2. There is another one that it's showing me well further over, but I'll get to that in a minute. And then I've got this Y, is that one. And then it's showing me one all the way up, there it is. And it's again this pink one. And there it is at the top of a cluster right near a load of 939. And that is all of that row done. So I don't know what happened with the other one. I don't know whether it fell out or whether I've got myself confused. Could be either. Ooh. So the next row, which is row 7, showing one quite a way in, which is right, and that's this. It's these ones that are all sort of stuck together. So some of them are coming apart. So that one is the first one here on its own. So let's highlight that one. Then we come to a little cluster of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, so there is a little cluster of 4 quite close together. We've got one which is this. So let's get that one in the middle first. Then we've got one of this letter Y, which is out as well, so let's do this one. That's the topmost one. And then I've got 2 which are these starburst. Oh, had hold of that one then and then I lost it. So 1. Come on. And then 2. So that's 1, 2, and then this last one over here is this one. 3. Okay. Got a little bit hairy then. I thought I'd mucked up some more, but we're doing good. Okay, so we're getting near the bottom. So we've got the next row here. This seems to have a few more. So we've got a little cluster of 3 here, which yes, I can see. And then I've got one up here on its own, which is this divide symbol. So I'll highlight that one. Then we've got 2 of this flower. One there and one here. If it'll let me highlight. They're getting a bit closer together. Right, and then this one there has been quite a few of, so I'm going to tip those out as well, but I'm going to put them over this side. There's only so many trays you can have before you start losing exactly where you're up to, which is why I don't do it when I'm doing the whole thing. Let's highlight that one and then scroll across, and we've got 4 over in this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got a divide symbol and then another one. Get it to turn the right way up. And that is here. Then we've got the flower, which is there, and then we've got the Y, which is there. Now I know in a way I don't need to highlight because I'm sort of filling it and I won't necessarily need the PDF again, but it still makes me feel better as a double check that I've definitely done everything. So I've also got one in here that is not highlighted in purple because it is only a recent colour that's been introduced into page 1, and it is one that I don't have. So I think I might have to do these in smaller sections. This is quite a few. So let's start with this symbol, which is the number 300. Now I know this is the only one I have of these because, say, it's a very recent colour that's been introduced that I didn't have. So I'm going to highlight that one and I'm going to actually put that one away because I don't need it again. And then the next 2 on this one, we've got one of the starburst followed by one of this divide symbol, which I like to stick together. All the pinky colours. So that's that one. And then we scroll across and we've got a little cluster at the top and we've got a little cluster down here. So the cluster at the top has got 2 of this flower one and then 2. Then we've got this divide symbol, which fills the other little gap. Doesn't want to let me highlight this one because I've highlighted the one above. So I'm going to leave that one for the moment. And then I've got 3. This little cluster of 3 is like a little branch. So these are all taking this same colour. Put all 3 of these in. Get hold of the 3rd one. Okay, I'm going to get it out with my finger. 3rd one of that in. Now if I hit search text on this one, then it should let me highlight all 3 of them quite easy. And then we have on its side divide symbol. We're going to this little cluster of 2, and then we have this flower. Come on. All the diamonds of course are up the wrong way. So that's those 2. And there should be, go all the way across, there's 3 more. Yep, so there's 1 right over in the far corner, 2, 3. So the far corner is this flower symbol. Then we have this divide symbol. Keep calling it the divide symbol because that's what I've got in my head, even though it's not a divide because it's the wrong way around. That's that one. And then we've got another one that's a new one, which is a letter N. With a little flick on the top, and that's 831. So this is actually a little element of green. Started seeing just a little bit of green coming in at the bottom of this tree at the minute, and I'm pretty sure that's the only one of that one as well, so I'm just gonna, oh no, there is one further down. Oh well, we'll deal with that in a bit. Okay, so we're now on the last bit, so I'm going to move that out the way. This is still highlighted from when I searched it before. So it's showing up as a different colour, but it's there. So I'll highlight that one. I'll probably need that other one, but it's going back in its pot for now. Then we have 2 of the flower. I'm trying to get these 2 to lie the right way. And then, oh, I was hoping. Okay, so that's 2 of the flower symbol in this bottom corner. So there's only 1 so far that it's not let me highlight, which is that one up there. Then we've got, I can still see my lines at the bottom here as well, which helps. So we've got a little cluster of 3 in this next square, and they are all this symbol. So let's see if we can get some more of these broken apart. I need to try that whole trick of putting a coin in a bottle and shaking it up to get these broken apart. I haven't got another tray that's not got diamonds in it to try and squash them in 2 trays either. Come on. They don't want to turn over. Okay, got one there. So we've got a cluster of 3 of the same. 2, 3. No, don't want me to do it on that one either, so let's leave that. And then the next square only has the flower shape. Next square is done. This last square, sorry, not last square, next to last square has that one, and then we have that letter N again that I thought I only needed 1 of. So let's get that one out. So there's just a little bit of green started showing here, and these couple of little bits of green there, just a smidge. And then last but not least, we have a star design, which is also luckily one of the ones that I have, and that's another shade of brown. So we are starting to get twigs and things in the trees. So let's pop these away. And let's get this canvas sort of finished up as far as page 1 goes. So I'm just popping these away now, being conscious of making sure that I pop them back in the right tubs. So that's the letter Y back, that's the letter D back, and then we've got a flower. And I'm just also having a quick look over to check I've got no more gaps, which I don't. How exciting is that? Page 1 is actually really finished. So let's shut the iPad off. I'm just going to get myself a little bit shuffled so I can stand up again. But you may see, let me zoom it in a bit and show you what I mean. So there is a little bit of different shading sort of here between the 2 939s, and it does sort of follow up here. So I think I must have run out of that actual 939 around here, and then went down to the next row. So there is a little bit of difference in the shading between some of the 939, but really I don't mind. And if I did, I would probably just switch a few of these around so it wasn't such a straight line, and sort of split them up a little bit that way. But that's the only thing that I've noticed by using spare drills, is a slight shade change at the top. As I say, it really doesn't bother me. If it stands out, then I'll just switch a few of these around and be done. But now my first page is done and complete, what I do want to do is give it a roll. If I have spotted any diamonds that were popping up, I have pushed them down, but I do want to make sure that they are as secure as they can be. So I'm pressing down as I'm rolling with the rolling pin, and I am going to do it both ways. There's not too many clicking into place, but there is the odd little bit of a clickety click click, which means that they're going into place. And that is page 1 done. How good does that look? You see the tree branches? It's amazing how the tree branches are starting to show now. And it looks like we're going to get some greenery down here with the odd little green colours and the odd little bit of green that I've started putting in down here. But before we start getting to this section, this is the next section. So quite excited. I think some of this next page will come together quite quickly because we've got a lot of 939s again. But I'm really happy with how that first page just turned out. It has been great fun. I have loved doing this. If you've got the patience to do Heaven and Earth designs, I thoroughly recommend doing it, because you really see the picture come alive when it comes from symbols that are all black and white, rather than having the design on the chart itself. You know, you're going from that to that, and it does look amazing. And this is one where I've actually drawn the lines on. I've not drawn the lines on the rest, but yeah, absolutely loving it. So yeah, join me on my next WIP and chat when I'll get through some more of this design and get going on page 2. But for now, I'm classing page 1 as done and complete. There are still a couple of colours that I don't have at the moment, so we may come across some gaps in the future, but for now it's full, it's done. Thank you so much to everybody that has sent me their spare diamonds. It's been greatly appreciated, and I love the fact that this is coming together as a group project, and hopefully I'll get to spend a bit more time on it and see if we can start seeing some activity come to life. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.